Now, the Namibian president has denied any links to the robbery at President Ramaphosa's farm. It's despite a police intelligence report pointing to alleged discussions between himself and our country's president. The Namibian president's office has labelled any allegations of a cover-up as, and I quote, outrageous. Lindsay Detlinger on the story for us. Hello to you, Lindsay. Another element of the story we now have to unpack. Let's start with learning from Namibia in terms of the arrest that was made back there almost 2 years ago to the day. So this story going back a couple of years, isn't it?
So yes, Gareth, I've had sight of a police report which details the arrest made of who is believed to have been the mastermind behind that robbery on President Cyril Ramaphosa's farm. He was tracked down in Windhoek in June of 2020. It was believed that he had crossed over into Namibia illegally and that he may even have had the help of police officers on that side to help get him over the border. And he was tracked down. We've also learned that a Namibian police commissioner met with South African authorities in what is being termed in that report as no man's land near the Ariamsvlei border post between Namibia and South Africa to discuss the sensitivities around this crime. And in it, it goes as far as pointing out that the presidents of the two nations are in discussions about the fallout that this could have, obviously, for South Africa if it were this crime were to come out, which is now, we see, has now come to pass. And so that is an aspect that has now gripped Namibia. And of course, the Namibian president, very unhappy that he's been drawn into the fray. But he says it's ludicrous that he would have helped President Cyril Ramaphosa in any way because that suspect appeared in a Namibian court. He was charged with charges related to illegally crossing the border. He paid a fine and then he was released and allowed to return back to South Africa, even though that police report points to aspects of where the Namibian police had intentions of perhaps trying to pursue further charges, perhaps related to money laundering in regard to the money that was found on the suspect at the time. But those appear never to have been followed through on. We can only presume that is because South African authorities perhaps didn't give that cooperation for that suspect to be held or for those avenues to be pursued. But the Namibian president says as far as they are concerned, it's merely a case of an illegal immigrant crossing into the border, didn't do so legally, paid a fine and left the country. I spoke to the Namibian president's press secretary last night, and this is what he had to say with regard to that arrest.
We are very clear as the presidency that the President of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Hage Geingob, is a strong champion of the rule of law as well as effective constitutional governance. And contrary to those allegations, at no point did President Geingob assist President Ramaphosa in arresting any person who is alleged to have committed a crime in South Africa in as far as the Palapala farm robbery is concerned. That is completely devoid of any truth.
All right, so Lindsay, our country's president, President Ramaphosa, keeping very quiet about the details of this alleged crime. But you mentioned a moment ago his Namibian counterpart very, very upset, unsurprisingly, that he's now been drawn into this issue, isn't he?
Yes, so on both sides, both presidents, both President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking here on the sidelines of Parliament yesterday, and also President Hage Geingob speaking in Namibia to the press there earlier this week, say it is no secret and that the two of them enjoy very close relationships. They've known each other for many years. President Cyril Ramaphosa even went as far as to saying the pair of them are practically on speed dial. That was confirmed by the Namibian president earlier this week, saying that they spoke directly to each other. They didn't speak through secretaries or aides. And President Cyril Ramaphosa also saying it's natural because of the roles the pair of them play in SADC and the region that they speak to each other often on all kinds of bilateral matters, on security issues. But President Cyril Ramaphosa would not go as far as to either confirm nor deny whether in 2020 or more recently made a call to the Namibian president and asked him to keep this crime hush-hush or to help in the arrest of any individuals. And so we are not hearing any definitive answer from our president as to whether indeed he did make contact with the Namibian president regarding this crime. But the Namibian president saying it is absolutely ludicrous that he would have assisted in any way. What would he have done? The suspect paid a fine and left the country. So here is the presidential press secretary in Namibia again on that matter.
So there's nothing about a denial of anything. We're only stating facts. This is what happened. In as far as this person is concerned, President Geingob has not used his office in a manner that undermines rule of law or the laws of the Republic of Namibia. It's a commitment that the president has made since he assumed office. And it's also a track record that President Geingob has when it comes to governance. Strong commitment to constitutional principles and governance, and that is not going to change when he's left with 2.5 years in the office.
All right, Lindsay Detlinger, thank you very much indeed. eNCA reporter Lindsay Detlinger on that story for us. It's quite complicated. If you do want to get some background on this and see everything else related to this Ramaphosa Farm Theft allegation, you're welcome to head over to our website, eNCA.com. I'm there now. I see it is the #1 trending topic on eNCA.com this afternoon.